this thing going?
Whenever you're ready.
All right. Petals and Petals, episode 1. Floral Steele,
Hello.
aka Alan,
No.
FKA Alan.
No.
How
No.
we doing?
I'm pretty good, man. How about yourself?
It's kind of hot, you know.
Oh, yes.
But you ready to answer these questions?
yes.
All right.
More than ready.
You know, I didn't really practice for this, but
Neither have I.
I know one question. So with today's music genre shifting towards different grounds, how do you think the music meta will change throughout this year, but also, you know, throughout the years in general? Where do you think the modern sound is going?
I feel like, for example, hyperpop is going to be a really big thing in the next couple of years. Everything is starting to be more electric and digital other than like acoustic and stuff like that. So I'm pretty sure it's just going to be a lot more of like a, not techno sound, but like
Yeah.
something similar to that more over in the years. So.
More electronic rather
Yeah.
than like
Mm-hmm.
musical stuff,
Yeah.
or like physical musical stuff.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, if you had, so Kanye came out with basically like a new instrument, but also a new format of music listening with the stem player.
Mm.
If you had a piece of music equipment, something that you could cherish and use yourself, what would like your dream piece of equipment be? For example, like the Osaka guitar.
The Oscar guitar. Honestly, I'm looking for a. It's just the thing is, for me at least, I prefer like shapes other than equipment. You know what I mean? Like let's
how it
say
looks.
yeah, how it looks and stuff. Like the guitar, for example, guitars. I like the shapes of them and stuff like that,
Yeah.
and like the design of it.
Oh, like with your
Yeah, like with the Saint Vincent.
yeah.
I like the shape of it. I wasn't like really that excited about the electronics on it. I
Yeah.
was just so, like
Yeah,
so
more
excited.
focused on the aesthetics of it.
Yeah, and like right now, I'm mostly like my dream guitar is like it's an Ernie Ball Mariposa.
Mm.
It kind of looks like a Stratocaster, but it has like
Okay.
gold, like how do you say, carvings on it or something like that.
Okay, we can put that in post.
Yeah, okay,
Like
yeah.
right here. Right
And
there.
yeah, that's pretty much what I think of. Like, I don't know. I just like weird shapes.
Yeah,
other than
for sure.
the typical Stratocaster or what's the other one called?
Telecaster?
Telecaster.
Yeah, those body shapes kind of get boring.
Yeah, and the
as you-
Gibsons and stuff like
oh
that.
yeah, for
Mhm.
sure. I'm more into like give me like a square or something weird.
Yeah.
So with the aesthetics, if you had to describe your music as a color, what do you think your music would look like if it were a color?
A color?
Yeah. Or
Uh.
like a set of colors or a palette.
Okay. This is kind of a tough one. But you see, take a look at these colors, right?
Yeah. Oranges.
Just think of this color, but like with a mix of like dark but light. Like this, you know how like if you take a picture and you distort the image, it like
Yeah.
gives it like a weird color and stuff like that. I would say like that. I don't know specific color names. That's
Yeah.
I just
Sort of just
that's
like-
just how I
like
see it.
like a mix of like the rainbow, but like more focused on the red, orange, yellow side of things. Would you say?
I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah, and then just like you accidentally spilled your paint, but you're like, oh no,
Yeah.
my colors they're all on the ground.
No, my colors. No.
Yeah, that's pretty dope. I got another real hard hitting question here for you
Okay.
that I totally remembered, and I'm not stalling to try to remember it right now.
Alrighty.
So, with regards to album rollouts and music rollouts, you know what I'm talking about.
Yes, I know what you're
So
fucking talking
when
about.
when you announce an album, and you set a date and you like give time for it to for you to finish it, but also give time for people to build the hype up. When do you think that hype sort of dies down, and like how do you manage sort of keeping that same energy of excitedness from your listeners throughout that whole life cycle of coming into fruition to release date?
Well, in my experience, um, I let me just tell you how it went. I started off. I haven't made a single song ever,
Yeah.
but I said, hey, this date, there's this song that's gonna come out. People got excited for it. I like the attention, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
So I was like, damn, I like this. So I did it again, like another 4 times. And then the dates that I would put up, it wouldn't, like, I would always pass it and nothing would come out and stuff like that, until I genuinely actually started working on my own music. Um, I still kept doing the same thing, like setting dates and stuff like that, but I would procrastinate a lot, so
Yeah,
I wouldn't get things done. And when I would get things done, I would delete them, and then it would be this whole mess and stuff like that. But that's when I started feeling like people didn't, think it was.
Gonna come out or
No, I just feel like they weren't hyped about it anymore,
yeah.
because of the amount of times I would, say, oh, October 30, December whatever,
Yeah.
So like around that time span, it was like about 4 months that I started doing that. Then it took me a whole year until I actually came out with it. But it actually came out really like it got a good turnout out of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I feel like at the same time, people have been waiting so long for it, and some people thought it was worth the wait. I personally hate it, but
Really?
some people just love it. So yeah.
That is interesting to think about. You sort of there's often times with creating things you make something that you like absolutely hate, but then you release it out into the world, and then people end up liking it more than you do. How does that sort of affect your thought process on that, say, like, song that you released that you didn't like, but other people have like seen it as like something that they really love? How does that sort of make you rethink your thoughts on that song or piece of art that you just dropped?
Well, honestly, I feel like some of my songs, like for example that whole EP that I came out with like a long time ago, I really don't like it, mostly because I feel like it was super underproduced, or like just it had no meaning whatsoever,
Yeah.
And like I wanted to actually have meanings and stuff like that, but since I was like, I honestly did feel pressured, but at the same time it was my fault to get
Yeah.
it done, so like pretty much rushed the whole thing. So when I released it and people started saying that they love it and like posting it or all of that shit,
Yeah.
it really didn't change my mind on the EP itself, because like my thought process throughout like creating it is what like makes me hate it, because they don't know what I feel or what I think
Yeah.
when I'm making it. They don't know like my thoughts or like feelings to it. And when I do say my thoughts or feelings, they're like, "No, it's good." But I feel like every person like goes through that and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So in a way, they don't know about like my thought process or feelings like towards when I'm actually creating the music. So I don't necessarily change my feelings about the music I put out most of the time, because I feel like I just do it for them and not for me,
Yeah.
which is a bad habit of mine. So now I'm trying my hardest not to put out stuff that I don't like,
Yeah.
So yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. You want to it was sort of creating music for other people, but now you're making music that you like, that it's for you. It's not if other people tend to like it, or if they happen to like it, then that's good on them, but you're just doing it for you.
Yeah, now I'm doing it for me at least.
Yeah, so like with your previous release, Atlanta, what would you have done differently, or do you think there are any songs actually that you want to salvage or do differently? Recreate or just revamp.
Huh. Honestly, maybe this is just because it was based more on like the music I would listen to back in the day. Because when Atlanta was mostly inspired by a lot of like typical indie music, like indie pop and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So like now I'm like in a mixture of like indie and then rock and then like heavy stuff,
Yeah.
stuff like that. So if we're talking now, I feel like I would change it to like the way my music sounds now.
Yeah.
But if we weren't talking about now, I would just try to like focus more on the songs having meaning towards them
Yeah. Yeah.
instead of just like saying a bunch of random shit and just putting it into the song, because that's essentially what the fucking EP is.
You want to put your whole heart into
Yeah,
it.
I want to put my whole heart into it when I didn't. Yeah.
That's fire. That's fire. Well, we have to wrap things up shortly here, but I got one last question for you before we head out.
Yeah.
So, when is this new project coming out? If you have a release date, when do you think it will come out? What kind of sound are you going for? And what do you want to tell the people?
I'm not setting a date for obvious reasons.
Of course.
From what we've talked about, but I'm hoping in the middle of the year, like around summertime or something, I would probably have things done and like uploaded and stuff like that, hopefully. And it may sound, it's gonna sound a lot different from like what people have heard from me, like a lot different. Because it's a lot different. Okay, but I feel like it's more heavy. There's a lot of screaming into it, a lot of beep boops, stuff like that.
Boop boop beep.
Beep boop boop boop. And then I just want to say that most of the meaning has to do with like addiction, mostly to nicotine.
Yeah.
Because it's hard. Like,
yeah, it's hard leaving it.
Yeah, and it talks a lot about my perspective of it, and like the perspective that nicotine has on me in a way.
Yeah.
Kind of, edgy or whatever.
Yeah,
but
that's how you know you matured. You stopped writing about women
girls.
and started writing about who you are and what your problems are. But that is Floral Steele. Alan, check out his music. His EP. No release date yet, but be sure to be there when it's out. It'll be fire.
Thank you.